This is really a fascinating analysis of this passage in the Talmud. Moshe's question and Hashem's answer has a whole different meaning now. And not only does it have one meaning, we learned yesterday two meanings. It's really fascinating because you look at it on the surface, you're like, wow, these are really good questions. And then you're like, wow, where did that come from? It's such an amazing answer. So let's briefly review the two messages of Moshe's question and Hashem's answer thus far. We learned is like this. Moshe's question was, what exactly are you asking us to give? You're asking us to give specifically the currency of a half coin, or are you asking us to give the value of the half coin? That's what Moshe did not know. Not only did he have a question about it, he didn't know at all what Hashem was referring to. So Hashem responded to him by showing him a coin of fire, saying with it, just like a fire is something that is predominantly an entity that is about its quality, unlike water and wind and earth that are measured by their value and by their quantity, fire is something where the quantity doesn't matter. So too, when Hashem is asking us to give the coin of fire, he's asking us to give something. When Hashem asks us to give the half coin, he's asking us to give the quality of the half coin, which means he wants us to give specifically the currency of a half shekel. That's one explanation. Then there is the other Tosfos. Moshe's question is not what exactly is Hashem asking us to give. His question is, what is this? How is it possible that this half coin is going to accomplish anything? How is it possible that Jews have done such a grave thing like worshiping the golden calf, and they're going to just be forgiven because they give a half coin? How does that make any sense? But to answer this, Hashem shows Moshe the coin of fire. What's the message of the coin of fire? As we learned yesterday, there's a difference between the way water purifies something to the way fire purifies something. When you immerse something in water, it removes the impurity on that item. You buy something in the store, you buy a pot and pan, and you want to bring it to your jurisdiction from wherever you bought it from. So you immerse it in water. A sacrifice is also a topical kind of thing. It's something which causes a sin to be removed. But it doesn't work for every sin. Sacrifices don't work for sins that have capital punishment. So the meaning of the half coin, the meaning of the coin of fire rather, is that just like when something like China, in order for it to be kosher again, it has to be brought back into the kiln. So too, in order for the Jewish people to achieve atonement for the sin of the golden calf, they had to become a different entity. They had to change. So by giving the half coin, Hashem is telling Moshe, this is kofer nafshem. I'm showing you a coin of fire to tell you that what's happening is not just that they're giving you a half coin and that they're done with it, and it's just an external thing. Rather, by giving the coin of fire, there's something that changes in them. There's an exchange. They've now become a new entity. Just like when the China is brought back into the kiln, it's considered like a brand new China. So too, when the Jewish people give that coin of fire, give the coin to Hashem, there is a change that happens. That's what we learned until now. We didn't explain why that works, just we said that's what happens. But we had a different question though. Rashi emphasizes that the coin of fire had weight. Give Hashem showed Moshe Rabbeinu a coin of fire that had the weight of a half shekel. What's the message? What's the meaning of the weight of this coin of fire? That it had weight, that is a half shekel. Usually fire doesn't have weight. What does it even mean that it had weight? So, and what's the purpose of it having weight? So that's what we got up to yesterday. Let's go up to page 415. I sent another PDF. It's on the second column, the second paragraph. From the fact that God made a miracle within a miracle, and in addition to the fact that Hashem showed the Jewish sheep, showed Moshe Rabbeinu a coin of fire, he made another miracle. That miracle is that the coin should have a definite weight. Hashem needed to show Moshe Rabbeinu a coin of fire that had the weight of a half shekel, because without this, Moshe would not know this. What would a Moshe know? What was Moshe missing without Hashem showing him the coin of fire that had the weight of a half shekel? Please test. They love him. They say Shahakim Hasbir to understand this with the first preface and explain. This, before we explain this question, let's go back to Moshe's question. Moshe's question is, how is it possible that just by giving this coin, that's going to achieve atonement? That question of Moshe Rabbeinu, where does it say that in the Torah? That was his question. That's what Tesis says. Where does Tesis get that from? Tesis gets this from a Medrash. Medrash says a clear. The Sham Muzbor, next page. The Medrash says there are three things Moshe Rabbeinu heard from Hashem, and he was shocked, and he like jumped back. This is one of three things Moshe heard from Hashem. Until now, we learned about three things Moshe didn't understand. And now there are three things Medrash says, and Moshe was like, whoa! When Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, I want you to tell the Jewish people that they should bring a sacrifice for me. It should be bread. They should bring me my fire offering. Amar Moshe, is it possible that we could give you a sacrifice that's satisfying to you? If we would bring to you all the animals in the world as a sacrifice, it would not be enough. So Moshe Rabbeinu was shocked, and Hashem told him that the Jewish people should bring sacrifices to him every morning. They should bring the carbon tamid. Moshe Rabbeinu was like, how is that possible? If we bring all the animals in the world, what would that do? That wouldn't satisfy Hashem. Hashem responded to Moshe, I'm not asking according to my power, I'm asking according to their power. They should offer to me one sheep in the morning. That I'm not asking them to do something that only I could do. I'm asking something that they could do, they're able to do. That was Moshe's first question, not question, first shocker. Whoa, what are you saying, Hashem? Another one. Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, the Jewish people should build for me a sanctuary, and I'll dwell within them. Moshe responded, whoa. How is it possible we're going to make him a mikdash, that he's going to live in it? How is it possible? What are we possibly going to build for him? The heavens, the highest places in heaven, can contain him. So how are we supposed to make a home for him that's going to fit him? Hashem told him the same thing. I'm not asking according to my power, I'm asking according to your power. Move on. So that's the two other places that Moshe Rabbeinu did it, as we say in our vernacular, a double stare. What? But now the question is, Moshe had already heard from Hashem that Hashem was not asking us to do something that only He could do. He only is asking us something that we could do. He knows this already. He knows this about the Mishkan. He knows regarding the Mishkan, this is a type of building that Hashem is asking us to build that certainly wouldn't organically be something that would fit the divine presence. As we just learned in Chitas a few days ago, that the world is called Hashem's. Hashem is the world's place. The world's not Hashem's place. Meaning Hashem is beyond an infinite and beyond the limitations of the world. So, Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, I want this anyways. I wanted to build me what they could build. They should do what they could do. Yes, it's true that whatever they're doing is like a Lego set. For me, it's not something which could possibly contain my infinity. However, I am asking this. I want this. So Moshe knows this already. So how come, regarding the half coin, is he once again doing a double stare to Hashem and saying, "What? They should give a half coin? How does that work? Why does Moshe have a question about that?" Moshe already know. Hashem said, "I'm not asking according to my power. I'm asking according to your power." That's what the Mishkan is. It's something that Jewish people are able to do. So Moshe knows that that's the mechanism of the Mishkan. The Mishkan is something that Hashem is asking us to do that's within our reach. So why is he surprised by the half coin? You might want to answer that Moshe's question was about the gravity of what was going on. Hashem told Moshe, by giving the half coin, this will cause atonement for them. So Moshe was wondering, whoa, how? Okay, I understand you're not asking us to give all the money in the world, and we can't to do something which is beyond our reach. But how is it possible? You might think this is the question. How is it possible that there's such a incredible impact from this half coin? That can't be Moshe's question. Because if that was Moshe's question, he would have had an answer for that already. Because Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu during the 7 days of the inauguration of the Mishkan to bring a bull. Why should they should bring a bull? Why should they bring a bull? Because the sin, the golden calf, was done with the calf, and as an atonement for the sin, the golden calf, they should bring a bull. So Moshe Rabbeinu already knows that it's possible that a minimal donation to Hashem, like a bull, is sufficient to cause atonement. So what is his question about the half coin? You can't say it's because of the incredible impact of this gift, because we find that Hashem already had told Moshe Rabbeinu, they'll give a bull to me during the 7 days of the inauguration of the temple, and that will atone for the sin of the golden calf. So he knows already this mechanism of this minuscule offering to Hashem and this infinitely greater impact. So why is he wondering about the half coin? Hazel Kachu, explanation like this. The Gabi and Mishkan movement. For the Mishkan, Moshe understands how it works. Why does he understand it? Mishkan, he understands that it's according to their ability. How much did a Jew have to give towards the building of the Mishkan? You learned in Parshas Truma, what did you give? You gave Nidvas Levi. What's Nidvas Levi? It means the generosity of your heart to build a Mishkan. Everyone to bring what everyone bought from their house, whatever they had, gold and silver and copper and wool and wood. You brought whatever was in your heart. It says any person whose heart is generous, anyone who is a generous spirit should give. And also regarding sacrifices, it says the same thing. The halacha is about a sacrifice, that a sacrifice is only kosher if a person wants to give the sacrifice. So since we find that your volition, your interest, your desire, your generosity is relevant, and you only are giving what you want to give, so it depends upon the generosity of the one who is giving this gift. It's depending upon the desire of the owner of the sacrifice. So that emphasizes that Hashem is asking us to do something within our ability. So in that scenario, Moshe Rabbeinu understands, since the whole thing is about what we want to give, so it makes sense that Hashem is saying to us, give according to your ability, because the whole motto is something where the whole type of offering we're giving to Hashem is something that we are giving because we want to give. That's all regarding the sacrifices. That's all regarding the donations given to build a temple. But regarding the half coin, it wasn't given according to what they wanted to give. Regarding the half shekel, everyone was forced to participate, whether he wanted to or not. If someone did not want to give, he was forced to give it. If someone did not want to give the half coin, they would go over to the guy and they would take a collateral. They would rip his shirt off his back. They would take his clothing. You're not giving the half coin. Are you kidding? No, you're going to give the half coin. So what's unique about the half coin is that there was no generous spirit needed to participate. In fact, you couldn't opt out of giving the half coin. There is a concept by sacrifices also. There are certain sacrifices where you force the guy to give the sacrifice. But the way that sacrifice works is similar to what we've learned about the laws of divorce, where a person is coerced to give the bill of divorce to his wife, and he is coerced until he says, okay, I agree. He has to say, I agree for it to be a kosher divorce. In a similar way, those sacrifices, where a person's coerced, he has to give the sacrifice. He has to say, okay, okay, fine, I'll do it. Even though he doesn't really mean it, but the Rambam says that deep within every Jew, there is a desire to do whatever Hashem wants. He has to, and therefore he has to say, I agree, and that's considered acceptable, because those words, which he is muttering on the outside, and in the inside he's saying, I don't want to do this. Those words actually trace back to the inner core of his neshama, and he's saying, I want to do what Hashem wants me to do. So that's why by a divorce and by certain sacrifices, when you force him, the divorce is kosher, the sacrifice is kosher. He has to say, I agree. But that's not the way it works by the half shekel. When you bring the sacrifice to Hashem, you have to say with your mouth, I agree. Although externally, this is something which is just coerced. Next page, but deep down, this is true. Why? Because every Jew deep in his soul wants to do what Hashem wants. However, regarding the half coin, we don't find a half coin. You take the guy's shirt off and say, we're taking this for the base of English until you give the half coin. And the guy's like, okay, I agree. He doesn't have to say, I agree. We don't find that he ever has any input in the gift. He's coerced. Every Jew is forced to give this half coin, whether he likes to or not, whether he wants to or not, whether he can afford it or not. There's no participation at all. So what's happening is only he's just giving something with his hand. There's nothing at all. There's no heart there at all. There's no soul there at all. There's not even some deep soul thing that's happening that we don't see. Deep in his heart, he's saying he wants to do this, and that comes from his neshama. That's not what's happening. He's being coerced, and there's just a coin that's being removed from his property and it's been given to Hashem. There's no soul that's recognizable over here. You don't see any soul. You just see a coin. In Cain, if that's so much asked to Hashem, I get how sacrifices work, because a Jew at least says he wants to give it to you. And deep down he wants to. But here, this is something where they're coerced to do. How is it possible? They extract from a person, you rip out of his pocket the half coin, and that's going to be cause atonement. There's no. I know, Hashem, you said I only ask according to your power, your ability, not according to my ability. But this is not about our ability. You're coercing us to do this. So why is this important to you? Why does this do anything for you? Why does it cause a atonement if there's no soul here? You don't see in this act of giving the half coin any participation of the person who's giving the coin. They just have to give the coin. To answer all these questions, Hashem took him out of this throne of glory, a coin of fire that had the weight of a coin, of a half coin. What does that mean? What are we talking about? Before we go further. So Moshe's question is, since in this scenario, there is no decision of the person to give the coin, he's being forced to give the coin. I don't understand. Hashem tells Hashem how this could do anything for you. What does this mean? Why is this valuable to you, Hashem? So to answer Moshe Rabbeinu, why this is still valuable, why does it achieve atonement, even though it's against our will, Hashem shows Moshe in the coin of fire. This will also explain to us why the coin of fire had to have a weight. Eis Yud. By the way, as much as you are gaining from this class while you're driving on the 101 or whatever, if you looked inside the words, you gain a lot in knowing how to read the words. Okay, Eis Yud. Has reptim lakach shemachta shekel in esedin shel chakev v'sel hashemeri tzenu b'chuv kasher t'gadav shishon amim b'mas b'siv gimel shlizui k'karbon hu. Why is it that this gift was given? Oh, you're not looking inside. Chaim. Why is it that regarding the half coin, there was no need for a person to participate and to say he wants to do it? We said earlier that the half coin is considered like a sacrifice. If it's considered like a sacrifice, regarding sacrifices, you have to say you want to do it. So how come regarding the half coin, it's different? If it is considered like a sacrifice, it should have the same rules as a sacrifice. The reason for this is, the purpose of this half coin was to atone for the sin of the golden calf that blemished the very existence of the Jewish people. It's something that hit us really hard deep within our souls well. So it's not enough to uncover the deepest recesses of the soul, the Jew should say, I want to give. This is something that hurts the very core of us. And therefore Hashem showed him a coin of fire, which specifically came from under his throne of glory. From the perspective of the way the soul is in our body, it's impossible for us to be able to give something that would cause atonement. The soul in our body was blemished. The soul in our body was cut off. And therefore, it was impossible within us to achieve atonement because there wasn't a part in us that wasn't blemished, looking at us from the way we are here in the world, the way we are as a soul in the body. There's a part of the soul which is higher than the body, higher than revelation. The essence of the neshama is the essence of every part of the soul. So it does have a relationship to the soul in the body, but it is something that is not really expressed at all in the body. The essence of the soul is the core of what's going on in us. It's making us tick. However, it's something which is completely hidden. That's the meaning of God showed Moshe Rabbeinu a coin. What's it mean? He showed him a coin. Hashem did something that we could not do from above to below, only within the power of Hashem. Something happened over here. It wasn't like the other things where we were giving according to our power. Here is something which is clearly only something that only Hashem could do. There is the coin of fire that comes from the throne of glory. There is the fire of the soul. There's the essence of the soul, the way it is in its source. All souls come from God's throne. So the idea of the fire coming from the throne of Hashem means the essence of the soul. And Hashem took this essence of the soul. What did he do with it? He brought the essence of the soul down in a way that it had weight. Despite the fact that we're talking about something which is in the essence of the neshama, which is far removed from our persona, far removed from our soul powers, Hashem took the essence of the soul and he revealed it and he brought it down to the persona of every Jew in this world in a way that it even had weight, meaning this coin of fire, the essence of the soul, is not separate from the soul powers which are actually involved in the act of giving the half coin. Rather, the coin of fire has the weight of a half shekel. The coin of fire is something which descends into the persona of the person, in the persona, the physical substance of the body of the Jew, so that it has a physical weight. In other words, there is the essence of neshama. Very nice. But that's not you. That's the essence of your neshama. That's not your persona. So Hashem brought down the essence of the neshama. Hashem brought down the coin of the fire. The fire means the essence of the neshama, in a way that it had a way, in a way that it connected and was revealed and became part of the persona of every person. So Hashem could look at us from the perspective of the essence of our neshama. Okay, that's very nice. That's the way we are in our source. That's not the way we are here. Why would he forgive us here because of the deepest core of our neshama? But what happened by the gift of the coin of fire is Hashem caused a bridge Hashem created a bridge between the essence of the neshama to the way we are here, so that the coin of fire has weight, it has a substance, it has a tangible impression in this world. There's something about me, the way I am in this world, that is connected to who I am in very core. Even when a person is giving this half coin, he's saying, I don't want to give it. It's taken away from him. And you see this guy is always doing is giving a physical act of giving. There's nothing in him that wants to give. There's no generosity here. There's no desire here. There's no happiness here. It's like a weight. It's a heavy weight. It's a load. So even though it's a load, even though I don't want to give it, next page. Even when a Jew gives something against his will, he doesn't want to give it, and he's saying, I don't want to do this. He never says, I agree to give it. He says, I don't want to do this. And there's no desire, and there's no joy. Yet that gift, which is a weighty gift, so he's pushing himself. What do I got to do over here? What do you want from me already? Nevertheless, even in that gift, there is an essence in the neshama. Why? Because in the act of giving the half coin, that also could be traced, that also is an expression of the essence in the neshama. You know what Rebbe is saying? The guy is taking the half coin reluctantly. He's forced to give the half coin, and he puts it down. And I don't know if you saw this. This guy was very upset about parking tickets. He had like $1,000 of parking tickets. So he took $1,000 and he got change and put it on all in pennies. And he brought it to the parking bureau all in pennies. You want my $1,000 that I own parking? Here you go. Count it. So there are some people, when they heard Moshe Rabbeinu say everyone has to give a half coin, some people are like, wow, let's do a mitzvah. Some people are like, oh my gosh, what does this guy want? Another half coin? We're doing so much already for him already. A half coin? Is he kidding? Here you go. All right.
Why a half coin?
Okay. Well, we're going to get to the half part later. But so far, what we learned today so far is that the meaning of the half coin is the meaning of the gift to the Jewish people is not something which Moshe Rabbeinu understood, because this was unique. Here there was no heart, there's no desire, there's no generous spirit. It was just a physical act. So Moshe was like wondering, what in the world are you asking? Why is this meaningful for you to Hashem? Why does this cause atonement? And Hashem answers him, there's nothing that they could really do right now that could cause atonement. Because the way they are, there's a certain sins we know that are punishable by kares. What's kares mean? Kares means the neshama in the body, this chas v'shalom, is cut off from its source. Now it says in the Torah, Hashem blew into Adam's nose a spirit of life. So there is the breath of Hashem, and the way the breath of Hashem extends to the person, to the soul in the body. But then there is the way the soul is in its source, the way it is above, so to speak, the breath of Hashem. The way the soul is in its source in the throne of glory. So Moshe Rabbeinu was told by Hashem, there's no way the Jewish people could really achieve atonement over here, because they've caused a blemish in their very core. Their very core, the way they are in this world. And therefore, Moshe is wondering, how is this going to work then? So Hashem told Moshe, this is on me. I'm going to do this. There's something in a Jew that's that's far beyond what you could see in their body. Their essence of a Jew. There's a fire in every Jew they can't possibly contaminate. That's beyond the breath of life that came into them when they were born. There's an essence which is higher than the breath of Hashem coming into the body. And that essence is going to be channeled and revealed and expressed and have impact by their physical act of giving the coin. It's not something which we organically in that gift would have the presence of the essence in the neshama. But Hashem caused that there should be a bridge between the essence of the neshama and the physical act of a Jew, so that it's kind of like the famous expression that the Baal Shem Tov, I don't know who made this expression. I hope this isn't from the person that I have to quote. It sounds like him though. That the Baal Shem Tov saw in every movement of a Jew a prayer. Hashem saw in the act of a Jew giving a half coin. I don't want to give it. Ugh. Hashem reveals in that gift there is the essence of the neshama. There's soul there. And that's why it caused atonement, because Hashem revealed in the gift of a Jew, which he doesn't want to give, the essence of the neshama. Any questions, comments? Aryeh, maybe we should start the share an hour later so you can come on time. All right. Have a great day, Jonathan. Great day, Aryeh. Great day, Beryl. Great day, Dr. Bressman. Great day, Chomar Chaim.